Hey, tough and the out of this world story from Street Travel. There are ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back in Street Travel. I am your host Manir.
Story 1. My wife cheated on me and says that it's not her fault. Plus, I updated my original post before discovering that my wife and I have been married for 3 beautiful years. Problem is she doesn't enjoy my hobbies as much as I do. The missus used to happily join me on adventures such as camping or fishing. Now she won't so much as go on a simple hike with me. We have a 7-year-old, and since the kiddo, these adventures have been a little tough to plan and follow through with, which I understand, but it can be hard on me. I like to get out at least once a week to clear my mind, but now that's been reduced to around once a month. She is upset every time I leave on a quick trip to the Rockies, etc., because I'm not helping enough with the kid. I used to tell her numerous times they should both come along, but she never agrees to this as she no longer enjoys those type of things. Should I give up on the sights I love to see and adventures I can't help but indulge in? I do want to be there for my family, but I can't cut these things out of my life forever, and that's what she expects of me. Advice is greatly appreciated. Now for the top of comments before reading the update. Life changes when you have a kid. How often does she get away from you and the kid to clear her head? If she's not choosing to get away, is it because she worries about how well the kid is being taken care of while she's gone? I love hiking and camping, but the idea of doing it with a toddler makes me shudder. There's no way to relax in the wilderness with a toddler. It's hard enough to do when you're at home with one. You're a father now, your life is going to change, and you're going to have to learn how to cope. I'd also suggest becoming more involved in parenting because based on this post, I'm assuming she's doing the brunt of it. Thanks for the reply. She has girls' weekends/nights out around once a week to every other week. She just doesn't like camping anymore, and she definitely doesn't like me camping either. She for sure does most of the hard work with her child as I have a job, and I greatly appreciate her for it. When she goes out with the ladies, I'm there for the kiddo, and if she needs a break, there I am. It's no problem. I just want to camp more is all. Again, thank you. Now for the first update after discovery. First update. This past weekend the kiddo and I went on a 2-day camping trip for some father-son bonding time. My wife doesn't like camping herself at all anymore, and doesn't even appreciate our kid and I going. This is a big hobby for me, and I want to share it with my son. Usually we argue a lot about my trips, especially if I request to bring our child, but this time she was oddly cooperative about the whole thing, but still insisted she wouldn't join us. I was surprised but didn't question anything because I was so excited that she was finally allowing us to go, and I didn't want her to change her mind. I thought we had finally found a common ground and the arguments were ending. I was wrong. We had a great trip and returned on Monday. We expected to come home to an empty house as my wife should have been at her office for a few more hours. I walked the kid up to his room, and as he was exhausted and ready for a nap, after I walked into her bedroom to find a naked man in my bed. I recognized him as my wife's co-worker whom I've met numerous times at her work functions. At first I was in disbelief and even wondered if I was in the right house. Then my wife walked out of our bathroom also naked, and I had no more doubts. She looked petrified when she saw me. I have never been so angry. I yelled at the dude to get out of my house so I could speak to my wife. He grabbed his clothes and left. Then we started arguing. I never yell at my wife. We always want to keep things civil for her son. But I was so hurt I was screaming. Then my wife decides to get defensive, saying it's not her fault that I am barely around and camp so much even though I hardly go on trips anymore because she doesn't like it. She says that's what drove me to do this. You neglect this family. I was in tears at that point. I just don't understand how her cheating could be my fault. When I turned around to leave, my son was standing in the doorway and I felt terrible for yelling. I quickly consoled him, but my wife snapped at me again, telling me to get my hands off him. Now she won't speak to me and says I can't see my child until I apologize. Apologize for what? She said we could go on this trip. She planned to cheat, and that kills me. It makes me wonder if she has done this before. I'm stuck staying with my parents right now. I don't know what to do. I want to see my son. I'm worried I really scared my child, and of course I would apologize to him, just not my wife, but maybe it is my fault. Now for the advice: don't leave the house. It is your property and child too. Don't let her claim you abandoned your son while she is the primary carer for the kid. Reassure your son he is the most important person in your life. Do not engage with the wife. Separate your money now. Start a book on dates of your camping and check against phone records. Get a nanny cam to protect yourself while in the home. Thanks for the advice. I felt bad and pressured to leave, but you're right. I need to stand my ground. Heading back to the house this evening. Second update. For the past week, I've been working with a lawyer to initiate the process of divorce and gaining custody of my son, with the exception of visitation for now until more is resolved. Things were awkward and tense for the first few days of me being back home, so my wife, using wife to keep things simple and identities private, decided to leave to stay with a guy I found naked with her. I'm disappointed at the example she's setting for our son, but this makes my decision to divorce even more concrete. I will continue to share as much as I can, if that's what people would like, but of course the court has its confidentialities that I must keep within the boundaries of. I want to thank everyone for the continued support you all have shown me throughout this tough time in my life. I really do appreciate it. Third update, my now ex-wife revealed she is pregnant with the man she cheated with and no longer wants to see our child. This is another and most likely final update about my ex. See my past posts for more information if you'd like. I expected my last update to be the final post regarding my marriage, but this felt like a necessary thing to share. Last week, I received several texts from my ex saying she was pregnant with an unknown man's child, obviously meaning she cheated with multiple other people before the one I found out about. She said she plans to keep the baby and start a family with her coworker. Other posts have context. She also mentioned that she wouldn't be fighting with me for custody of her son. I told her I would be willing to split custody, or at least keep visitation rights for the sake of the kiddo. But she insisted she didn't care about that anymore. I am honestly in awe. I am shocked she has given up on everything about the family we had, but I am most hurt for my son. At the end of the day, she isn't worth wasting any more of my energy on. I have been spending every moment I can with my kid and will continue to do so. I'm starting to feel like myself again, and I can't wait to get back into the adventures in nature. I'd like to say a final thanks to everyone for the support and encouragement. I will always be grateful for that. Story 2. My mom is pregnant with her 6th child, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I'm the oldest, and I'm only 15. We're already struggling with money, and she's just making it worse. I have spent my whole childhood taking care of my siblings. I couldn't even enjoy being a child. Now there's only a few years left of my teenagehood, and I'm losing that too. I just want to live a normal life like other kids in my school. I hate her and my father so much I don't even feel guilty for feeling like this. I'm never going to be a sibling to that child. I'm tired now for the advice. You're not alone. My dad is the third of 12 children 1950-ish. He told me that he remembers being a little boy and crying when he found out his mom was pregnant again. One of my aunts told me a mother to many is a mother to none, basically meaning that you can't be the type of mom going on long walks and reading all the books to your kids at night when you are constantly nursing a newborn and doing laundry for all these damn kids. I am sorry, Op, hang in there. You will be off to college/vocation soon. I also cried when my mom announced she was pregnant with my last 5th sibling. I knew it meant I had to add my 4th sibling to my list of siblings that I was directly responsible for. I was also solely responsible for most chores. My mom did no chores after I was old enough to push a vacuum and reach the sink. Still doesn't. My siblings are aged 11 through 19, so they're all still home. They even went as far as to trick me into going to a college that was close enough that I couldn't be forced by the college to live on campus, so that I could be home to help with my siblings, and that they could still control me, because on top of all this, they were strict. I love the mother to many saying I'm gonna start using that. My parents, like most parents to more than 3 kids, weren't parents to me after I was like 11 and only parented me when I did something they deemed wrong, which was a lot. Lol. Please, when you go to college, find one as far away as possible, like in a different country, many days worth of trips away. It'll save your ass. Therapy wouldn't be a bad idea either. And never listen to her pleas for help. She did this to herself, let her deal with it. A good parent doesn't have more kids than they can handle or give affection to, and your mom surpassed that a long time ago. I'm so sorry. I hope you get to start school again. My mom pulled me out of university too, having not let me go to school after the 7th grade. We now live in different countries and I am happy. I hope I never see my mother again. Edit. My friend was looking for a place available in his uncle's farm so I can work there. Thank you guys for your advice and I love it. It means a lot and I already have my own bank account. I got it a few months ago.